Hi everyone, I'm Kelsey.
And I'm George,
And I'm JPatt.
and you are listening to the Box Officers Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in, and make sure you leave a star rating wherever you're listening to this.
Watching a bad movie is like witnessing a terrible crime. Each episode, we're going to be basically breaking it down according to the severity of punishment.
Films can be convicted of a felony, a misdemeanor, an infraction, or on the rare occasion found innocent. So this week, we are going to be reviewing the movie Trap. So if you haven't seen it, you're going to want to pause the episode because we're going to give a lot of spoilers. But otherwise, let's get into the episode. Initially, like going in, what did you think you were going to feel? Like when you saw the trailer, like how did you feel?
I actually didn't watch the trailer.
Now, personally, I saw the trailer like once, and it kind of caught my attention a little bit, but I think it was just like a pretty unique setting for a type of like catch the serial killer type of movie, you know. For it to be at a concert, it's a new play on things.
I thought so too. Like I remember seeing it and thinking like, okay, this is gonna be I don't know. I saw M. Night Shyamalan's like name on it, so I had like high expectations in that sense. But for like the plot, I did think like, okay, trapped in a concert. I obviously looked at it and thought that the main character was trapped like victim style, but obviously, spoiler alert, we were wrong. Do you feel like seeing M. Night Shyamalan's name on it made you like have any like were you thinking, oh, he's here, so it's gonna be good, or were you just like,
Yeah,
regardless of the
yeah,
director, just going in kind of open minded?
yeah, definitely. I think that's what made me watch in the first place. Like M. Night Shyamalan, he's done Signs. He's done. Okay, I only know
Old.
Signs.
No,
Yeah,
old was
yeah,
good too.
yeah.
And
I just know he's
we
goaded.
actually, he is, yeah, and we did Knock at the Cabin, which
Oh
was also
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that
that
was
was good.
good.
Split. All of the.
I didn't know he did that one.
Yeah, me neither.
So it's
Oh,
like
he's
when I saw his name on it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to tune in. I'm gonna be honest, if his name wasn't on it, I probably would have skipped this one. Just like concept wise, I was like, this is not like matching the level of like what we've seen before, but I don't know. That was just my opinion.
he's definitely in his bag there.
So what do we like about the movie? I personally felt like the concept itself was really original. And and I would just say, wasn't that his daughter? Like the
Yeah,
pop star?
that was his daughter. I did like that
That's his
aspect of
real.
the movie
Oh, that's
that
his daughter in real life.
yeah, real life
Yeah.
daughter, and that's
Oh,
like
that's
her real life
nice.
music.
Which, yeah, I said because I remember, okay, if I walked away with nothing else, I left thinking, that girl should go sing because I thought, I don't know, it's really hard to do movies like that without it being distracting. And I feel like they had the perfect amount of like performance and then also sticking to the plot. Every single time she had a song, I was tuned in. I was bopping my head. I thought she was a very talented girl. And then to see that's his daughter, I
Yeah,
thought, oh, how cute.
I feel like she kind of gave like Olivia Rodrigo to me. Like I feel like it was just
Yeah,
like it was realistic, and I actually thought that's what it was based off of. Like that's why I thought it was so realistic.
I
So
think it
they did
was low
good.
key because like that's like the closest celebrity you can like pin her to,
Yeah, yeah.
in
I
my
think I feel like
opinion.
she definitely inspired it. I don't know if it's because I think they look alike or
I was going to say, I'm not following any of that because I just feel like they have nothing in common other than long black hair.
it might be
Uh,
that. It might
It's
be that,
yeah,
honestly.
it
definitely.
Yeah.
seems like, but I get you in the sense that like they're the same age, so it kind of feels like okay, younger pop girl. Olivia seems relatable. This girl seemed like relatable. I get that vibe.
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's definitely one thing I like the most about the movie. Just that character being in it. Not that it's his daughter, but then also that the music was original too. It was just a nice creative play on the story.
Yeah. I just thought like that had to have taken a lot of work, and I respect them for that because you actually did put on a concert. Like if you look around the set, there are people here for a concert. That's the kind of extra I need to be. When I'm an extra in a movie, I want to be an extra in a movie like that. So I get a free show. Also, do y'all like Josh
Yeah.
Hartnett? I love him.
I liked it. It was a really realistic performance, I felt like. Like I
Yeah.
really was kind of rooting for him, like low key.
In
Yeah,
the sense
it was
that
sad.
Yeah, it was sad. Like I kind of wanted him to get away though. Like I don't know, and I think that made
Yeah.
it really convincing. Like I really wanted him to get away with him
It
if it
was
was
that kind
anyone.
of it was that kind of rooting you felt like. I'm not sure if you guys watched You, the Netflix series.
yeah.
It gave me that type of vibe where I was like, okay, I'm actually wanting him to get through with this process just because
In the
he was
sense
just a
that
likable,
Character, yeah.
yeah, villain, really.
Even
But
yeah,
I was
even though
gonna
he's such an
say,
evil guy.
remembering that these are all like murderers, yes, I guess if you're gonna root for one, it
yeah,
would be these because I get what you're saying, but also like the actor himself, like I don't know, I've always liked him. So again, I went in with a lot of bias, but I think he ate that. I think he did a good job. And did you feel like the twist of him being the murderer, the serial killer, got you, or did you know? Because I didn't know.
like
Well,
near the
I kind
beginning
of
of the movie.
yeah, because they
Yeah.
showed him literally watching a guy in his house. So
Before
I was
that,
like,
though.
but wasn't that close to the beginning?
Yeah, but like I feel like there was at least 20 minutes of movie prior to that. I mean, we knew something was going on at the concert. Like we had already seen the police and we didn't know it was related to him. Like we didn't know he was a bad guy. I don't know. I thought this was going to be about a dad and a daughter going to a concert and somebody crazy is there and he's trying to protect his daughter. I thought it was giving father-daughter time. That's not what it gave. I was surprised and I don't feel like I'm genuinely surprised often by movies, so I found that to be like pleasant.
I feel like before I even watched the movie, I just kind of knew already. I'm not sure if I just caught something from the trailer, but I was like, yeah, this is the murderer. And then based off his like ticks, the way he acted up to the point where it was like, oh, you have a guy in the basement. That's when I'm like, okay, yeah, he's for sure like,
So it was just me.
I suppose,
American Psycho, but like dad version. Like
No,
it was
he did
something.
it.
No, there was like something off about him. Like there was something
yeah.
so anal about him. I don't know, like too anal.
Okay.
It's like he was just like too awkward.
Yeah, it was definitely something off. Like you don't
Yeah,
seem like a
so
victim. You don't give victim.
right. So it didn't really catch me off guard, but I think learning about his story a bit, even though they didn't give you too much, I feel like that was more, yeah, that helped. That was more interesting.
It was like it added a lot of context after the fact. I can't believe that y'all had like an off feeling about him beforehand though. Because I just thought like this is an overwhelming situation. Like I'm at a concert and there's a bunch of police here and then my daughter is low key getting bullied at the same concert and then like it's just overstimulating. So I thought, okay, maybe he's I don't know. I thought it was just like the OCD thing or something, but I didn't pick up serial killer vibes.
I don't know what ticked me off. I'm not sure if I was like spoiled at some point before I saw the actual movie. Maybe I saw some random TikTok or the trailer just gave it off. But
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, okay, I'm watching a serial killer is the like protagonist, the type of movie.
I
But
had no idea.
let's hope you don't run into a serial killer in real life.
I was gonna say that makes me low key question my observation skills, but it's fine, I guess. Yeah. What else did you guys like about it though?
I did like the pacing. I like some of the unique characters, like who played the black dude, the guy who was at
Yeah,
the
the security guard.
yeah the
Or
security
no,
guard.
he was
Yeah,
selling like shirts and
shirts.
stuff.
He was selling shirts, and then the mom with the daughter who was bullying, the serial killer's daughter. She just started acting crazy and stuff. So that kind of gave a little like humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like those two characters, but especially the guy who was selling the shirts.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
my thing is that's actually so funny because like At the end, I think they had a clip of him like watching from his home on like the guy getting arrested, and he's sitting on his couch and he's like, I can only imagine. But he did really well. I think sometimes like there are movies that are serious and they try to have like comedic relief and they do it really badly and it's kind of distracting. And I feel like this was not one of those situations. I feel like the funny moments made me chuckle. I will say there were moments I don't think were supposed to make me laugh and I was laughing, and I'll get to that later. But that guy did really well.
Yeah, especially in that little what's it called? You know, it was at the very end of the movie after the credits. There's a little secret there where you get to see him again. I'm not sure if y'all saw that. Yeah. Yeah, it was a post-credit scene. Yeah. But I guess
Remind
we'll get
me?
to that
I don't
later.
remember.
You
It
didn't
was
miss
like
it?
what you were just talking about, like how we saw him at the end. Yeah, his
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He saw it on the news and he was like, "My God, like I saw that guy at a concert and everything."
Yeah.
I really thought he was gonna die, like the way it
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah. Feel like also they did a really good job of setting it up and then keeping it interesting because that was a movie that was set at a concert. So you know how other movies like you could be all over the world, like you have all these different like settings. This one had one. There was one place, one venue, one concert. They were there the whole time. And I feel like sometimes when movies are set in one place, it's hard to like keep my attention, like if they're not like progressing the plot in a way that makes sense. And that one, it worked. And, you know, he went to the concession stand, he went backstage to look at like t-shirts, or he went to the police huddle. When he was with the police, do you know what I'm talking about? The police were
That
talking and that guy comes up and is like, where's the sugar or something?
yeah, I think that was my favorite scene
He's
out
a
of the
really
movie for some
good
reason.
social engineer. Like,
Yeah,
I think
Mm,
that's what makes him like the perfect killer. Like, it's not even smart at that point. It's just like he's just so good at, getting along with people, which makes it
yeah.
so scary.
Even though I feel like
yeah.
in real life he's still awkward, you know.
He is the actor.
No, like if that guy were to like I would immediately be like something's up with this dude. But
I
I feel
think
like in
I
the
would
movie,
too.
yeah, I feel like in the movie they kind of went along with it, like just but I feel like in real life it would have been a red flag. Like
Contrary to
the
what I said earlier about not knowing he was a serial killer, it's like if you're a police officer and you're in this room with this guy and we're having a meeting, first of all, you're not getting in. I don't care if you want a snack. I don't care if it's your break time. You're not coming in the room. Also, the daughter, like, I don't know. I would have been like protesting a little bit more, or I would have been like, "Are you okay? I'm calling my mother." Like, it was acting really, really weird.
Mom.
Because when the trap door in the floor, not the trap door, but like where
yeah,
the artists come from the ground, and he was like, "Oh, wouldn't it be so cool for us to hop down there and go
hop in.
backstage?"
Yeah,
That's when he started getting weird. Like, Dad, what's wrong?
right. Like you're literally my dad.
uh,
Are you having a
That's just
stroke? Is everything all
weird.
right?
And then for him to be like, I don't know, even the interactions with the mom of the friend, weird. How did he make it behind the concession stand to put the glasses in the grease? Like, I'm sorry, like, I feel like somebody would have known something. I don't know.
Right.
I
But
feel
it's
like
a movie.
that's easy. Like to get behind a concession stand. Like I don't think people like.
Not at all. Yeah, I don't think that's easy
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
So
I
they're
figured
like
there'd be a door or something.
yeah, but I feel like there are like points in the movie that aren't realistic, but they are crucial to just pushing the plot forward and then showing how creative he can get his social engineering, even though when it comes to conversing with people, he was like super awkward, like the pauses in his speech. He would just stare at somebody for 5 seconds before replying to them. Yeah,
It's like yeah, he was giving uncanny valley. Like
Like,
it was
no,
definitely
very clear.
terrifying.
when he went to the rooftop, I forgot this. He went to the rooftop, and the police were like, I mean, he had on the apron, but they were like, "Do you have your ID?" And he digs in the pockets and just pulls out a card out of this wallet. And they're like, "Okay, well, we still need your like the password." And he like hesitates to give the password. I'm like, "You are smiling too much, first of all, and then you're hesitating and you're being weird." So
Yeah,
yeah, in real life, like this would have went down way different, but it's
yeah,
fine.
but it made it a bit entertaining. It made it more tense because I feel like as a viewer, you're used to operating in reality. So you're like, if you're like ingrained in the movie, you're just kind of like, if I was in this situation, that would make me awkward. That would make me tense. And then you feel that in the moment watching it. And I think that just makes the movie more just interactive with your emotions.
Yeah. I will say the reason I like the movie the most would be probably because it was unexpected to me. From beginning to end, I was surprised every time. And I think it's just because like that character was crazy. And so when you have a crazy character like that, crazy things happen and like we don't always see it coming. As without, critiquing it too early, as unrealistic as it was at points, I love shenanigans. I love a movie where it's like that it makes sense. Like it gave me Lifetime movie vibes, and I don't mean that to be a diss, but in the sense that wait, why is the camera still rolling? Like this isn't making sense. At a certain point it stopped making sense, but I liked it cuz I felt like it was fun. And sometimes we just need fun movies. I felt like I
Like it
liked
didn't
that.
like it didn't take
Yeah.
itself too seriously.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Honestly,
Okay.
that I think there's a movie with Viola Davis that just came out, and she was like, not every movie needs to be like Emmy Award winning. Like sometimes I just want to have fun. And I think that's like
Yeah.
a fair point. Like, why are we always trying to make these like huge think pieces to win all these
Mhm.
awards? Like, you could make sense to just enjoy.
Like
Just enjoy
I
it.
feel like, especially in the fact of like in the sense of having fun throughout the course of the movie, he goes from the concert to the household, which is tense because he's holding the singer hostage. And then he finally gets caught. And it's like at the end of the movie, he's in the back of the police car. And then somehow he still gets loose. And like
Yeah.
even though all of those emotions were rolling at the end of the movie, he gets himself, unlocks himself, and he's just laughing. And it's just kind of like, wow, he still got loose after all this back and forth. And I did like that because it went from that emotional part of the movie of him getting caught to like, oh, he's still same old serial killer guy trying to get loose. It didn't change his view, his it didn't change his character. I think at the end that just made me chuckle.
I was gonna say it was laughable, but I don't know if it was supposed to be.
Well, it did have its humorous points. I think to me it was funny because after the whole situation, they had, he had basically left the concert. He got the singer to his house, and then the moment you think he's caught, he escapes, and then he gets caught again. He escapes, and then he finally gets caught. They have him in handcuffs and everything. The wife poisoned him, and then right after that, whenever he went to go check the little bike and lift it up, come to find out, he took a little spoke out of the bike. So to me, that was humorous because I'm like, even after all of this, you didn't really like learn your lesson.
Truthfully, the movie should have ended once the police pulled up. The girl gets in the limo, she leaves, happy ending. And then he goes to the wife's to his house to see the wife. This is when they really, I said, just turn it off because now you've escaped like twice already. They tase him. He stands up like he's Superman or something, tackles the police after being tased. And then they let him touch this bike. He gets the spoke off the bike. So now you've escaped 3 times. But I think the tasing thing really, at that point, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, all of this back and forth, and at the end of the movie, he still is able to free himself. I think it had like a lot of serious aspects to it, but then at the same time, it was like the situation is crazy funny anyways. There being a serial killer at a concert, and you know, even come down to the interactions with other characters in the movie, like the black guy. I think it had a good mix of serious, sad, funny. I mean, I think a good movie has a good mix of everything.
What did you guys think about the fact that like the wife? So I have forgot, but the wife is the reason that he got caught. She dropped the ticket at the abandoned house. Imagine thinking your husband is cheating on you and he's actually out there killing people.
It made sense. Like it worked perfectly because it's like you can't be doing all that and nobody's suspicious. Like
Notice.
the people you see all day every day. Like yeah. So I think that actually made it more
And I
believable.
was confused
Yeah, more
because
realistic.
I thought, like, if he's this particular, how could he possibly drop a concert ticket at one of the houses? Like, that just seems careless to me. So it made sense that someone else
Yeah.
planted it there because they knew something. And it was smart on the wife because low key I was thinking like, why not just tell the police? But like, you don't even want anyone to know that you were involved because your husband's literally a serial killer. What do you think he's gonna do if he thinks that you're onto him? Probably kill you, right? So I just feel like that was like super smart. It was a nice layer. I feel like that kind of saved the end. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna say I don't want the reincarnation of this man. Like I appreciated it, but it gave like Michael Myers. It's like, why won't you die? You know? I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit unrealistic in the sense that like if there was actually a human that had this many chances, like I feel like the pattern was a little bit good. But I think that's part of the like, okay, we're watching a movie for fun. Like we're not trying to see realism in this. Like we're trying to see some
Mhm.
crazy stuff happen, entertaining things at the same time. So I think it was a good balance between realistic and like everyone knows like the chances of you escaping those scenarios back to back is like
Yeah.
slim to none. But it's like nice to see if you could, this is what you could do, or this is a possibility.
I wonder what you mean by that.
Yeah. It's a small, yeah, it's
Yeah, it's never zero. Like that's basically what it's saying. Like it's not the most like plausible thing, but it is possible.
Well, I suppose.
yeah. I'm kind of looking at bikes a little differently now.
Yeah, like you could he made an opportunity out of anything.
I was gonna say when it came to like the small details, like they mentioned him leaving the whole receipt there earlier in the movie, and then come to find out the reason the receipt was there was because of his wife. And then another small detail is that he has OCD. So the smallest things being off bothers him. So realistically, like he wouldn't be as careless to leave a receipt where he killed somebody,
Such a big
because he
one
has that,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he has that OCD, so those two little details that are just dropped at different points in the movie, it came together in the end. And I feel like movies that have little details that you are like, oh, okay. And it comes together later on. I like movies like that.
Yeah. Like little Easter eggs, especially if it makes sense. Like if it's not like cheap, like okay, you're just trying to, I don't know,
Yeah.
give us unnecessary information, but like it's just it was a small thing that like you honestly could have forgot about, and you're like, dang, like that was actually purposeful.
You could see it play out in his actions, like the way he fixes the bike, the way he was fixing stuff on the wall at the house. It's like, oh, why is he doing that? And then you're like, oh, like 45 minutes ago, they mentioned him being OCD. And I like the fact that they stay true to those details, you know, and it wasn't just some random little tidbit about his character. It made the movie seem more authentic.
Yeah, I thought they did a lot of things well, and I feel like the acting was good. I felt like, I don't know, I've seen some movies recently where I would disagree. So I feel like it was just really refreshing. And I don't really have, I guess it's like Georgette said, like, I'm not going to say I don't have complaints in the sense of like, are there things that didn't make sense? Well, correct. However, it doesn't seem like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not taking this movie too seriously. And I don't know if that's fair to other movies, but this one I'm just like, okay, I was just here for a good time. I had a good time. Some of it made sense, some of it didn't, and that's okay. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have
I
other
think it's
thoughts?
all about how the movie like presents itself. If you start off the movie trying to be this like Emmy award winning, Oscar award winning like theme movie actors, like I'm gonna be expecting that from the movie as well. But I feel like this wasn't. This was just trying to show us a slice of life. In a
Right.
way, like they weren't trying to like get all these like awards. They were just like showing us a film, and I think that's why we can judge it based off of that. Like they weren't trying so hard to do all these things. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Now,
No,
the
that makes
movie
a
is
lot of
definitely,
sense.
it's still cinema. Like, it's M. Night Shyamalan, so he did his thing with it, but it's also a Netflix movie. So
Yeah.
I think when you're doing movies like that, I feel like movies that go to the Cinemarks, the AMCs, they're held to a higher degree. It's like people are paying to see these, so they're going to be critiquing it a lot rougher than they would just a regular Netflix movie. But when you're making a Netflix movie, you want that to be engaging, you want that to be entertaining, whatever the topic is.
This was a
I
Netflix
think,
movie?
yeah, yeah, it
Oh,
was.
I
It
didn't
wasn't in
know.
theaters.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay
I
Wait,
then.
feel
what do
like
you
for a
mean by
Netflix
it?
movie, what do you mean?
It
What
was
do you mean by
made
what?
for Netflix?
This wasn't in theaters, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was in theaters.
Was I tripping?
I had no clue.
It
No.
When
is
did that come out?
recently 7, 8 months ago.
Man.
Yeah, I watched it on streaming. So that's why I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
I watched it streaming.
I see it now. Yeah, don't demote me. Let me keep my badge. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. It was in theaters. Now, looking at the ratings, it actually has like 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. Maybe that's why it went to Netflix so quick. But I think for the quality of a Netflix movie, because there's a lot of Netflix movies, it's pretty good. You know?
Yeah, but
I
it
think it's
wasn't
really good.
supposed to be like a
A
Netflix movie.
Netflix
Like this is
movie,
a real
yeah.
movie that was in theaters,
Yeah.
and I paid to go see that. So I feel like it was
Actually would have been. I didn't pay to see it, but if I did pay, I would have had a good time. Like I feel like that would have been a good. Oh, y'all, that was a good movie. Like I don't think I would have been
I
like
did
I'm
have
so
a good
mad.
time.
Yeah, so I think it's movie worthy. I think so.
Yeah, it's definitely
Like
movie
cinema
worthy.
worthy. Yeah, for sure.
So
But
I guess how worthy would you say it is?
now we're gonna get down to like a verdict. We're gonna send this to the judge, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. Just because it had me engaged. I definitely would give it community service.
Okay.
House arrest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give it innocent, actually. I feel like for what it presents itself as and what it also the value that it gave to us in such a short period of time, you don't see a lot of movies like that nowadays. Like good quality, good acting, good pacing, good plot, and I got something out of it. So I think it's innocent, honestly. It didn't like string me along for like hours trying to make a whole point, trying to do all this dialogue, unnecessary dialogue. It was just a good time, good movie. Yeah, I give it innocent, honestly.
I'm going off a scale because when I feel like something is innocent, I'm thinking about like a movie like, in my opinion, something like Infinity War or Endgame. Those are some of my like top 10 movies.
They not
Some
innocent.
So
would disagree.
They not
I
innocent.
was gonna say
they not
that depends on who
innocent.
you ask.
They not
Hold
innocent.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We're gonna have to discuss this in another episode. Go ahead, Kelsey.
I was gonna say, I think that, initially, honestly, I would have given it an infraction simply based on the fact that the ending was absurd. But once I sat with myself, once I like thought about it, I was like, was this ever supposed to make sense? Like, was this, and
Yeah.
it again goes back to the point I think we've made the whole time. This is just a movie that you watch. It reminded me, honestly, I remember watching it in theaters and thinking, wow, I haven't just seen a movie in a while. It's like, let's say you go see something like Marvel, you're going to like indulge in this franchise, this universe. You go do like Mission Impossible or something, and it's like, this history that kind of can carry it. This was a standalone movie. They just had nothing to say other than sometimes serial killers go to concerts with their daughters. Here's what that might look like. And they did that. And I said, wow, thanks. And then I went home. And I think that sometimes we just need that. And they did it well. And so for that reason, I have no choice but to say it was innocent.
Okay.
It was just a movie. It was like, still when I look back, the past few times I gone to the theaters, and I go all the time, that's like I can count on one hand in the past year the times that I've gone and been like, oh wow, I'm so glad I came here to pay for that. And I just felt like, wow, the movies are back, kind of. And it's funny because it's such a non-serious movie, but it was giving what it was supposed to give. And I think that's what people forget sometimes. Like, it didn't give what you wanted it to give, but that was what the movie was supposed to be like. And I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. I liked it. I was engaged. Like there are some things it could do better on, but as a whole, I'm like, it's a movie that I'll probably find myself watching again or just at least playing in the background.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, though I said house arrest, I feel like that was just what I would give it based off of a few little critiques. But I'll say innocent if, I gotta go a little bit easy on it. I'll say innocent.
Do you guys know
Easy.
that movie Ma with Octavia Spencer? It
Yeah.
reminds me of that, where I was in the theater and everyone was so engaged the whole time and it was so funny. But like what's happening on the screen is not funny. It's just this, I don't know. It's just a movie.
Ludicrous.
It's just a
Yeah.
movie. I loved it.
5 p.m. somewhere.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, maybe one day we should review that. But
Yeah.
okay. We don't get a lot of innocent films, so
Yeah.
congrats
That's
to
good.
you guys.
Yeah, that's definitely an accolade.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
We need a Hall of Fame, box officers Hall of Fame with
Yeah.
our innocent movies.
Innocent picks.
Yeah. All right. Well,
We'll give it an innocent. It's been great.
That's
seeing y'all
it.
again.
Yeah.
Our watchers, our listeners. This movie
Yeah.
is innocent.
and apparently it's
Well,
on
not-
Netflix. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Go check
Check it out and let
It's
us know what y'all
innocent.
think.